Say it. I-N-I.
Hello everybody, this is Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined, and it is that time of year. That marvelous, wonderful, fancy, golden time of year in which me, your host, Tristan, and my co-host, as always, Hassan,
That's me.
that's him, we bring you down memory lane. A lane filled with, well, memories. And some of those memories include such highlights as when Woody Allen was here. Play the clip.
Tristan, we never had Woody Allen on, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't even care for Woody Allen, so
We never heard
I
Woody,
wouldn't invite him on.
we never heard Woody Allen on?
No. Do
Yeah.
you like Woody Allen?
I mean, no. But, like,
Yeah, why would we bother having him on?
well, he's a name, and you can, we get an exciting guest. It's like, oh, crap, they got this guy. That's going to be an amazing episode. We didn't get Woody Allen?
No.
All right, well, hey, remember this one then, when in March, Oprah appeared. Play the clip.
What would we talk about with Oprah?
She's a big Boruto fan. I imagine.
Can't say for certain you're wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're wrong.
She might be. Hey, we had to figure out what it was
don't
like
see
to
it.
be a Boruto fan. Someone
No
has to
one
be.
should be a Boruto fan
Someone
also.
has to be his son. She recommends Boruto to all of her book club fanatics. I bet.
Ugh. Then we shouldn't invite her on for that reason.
That's fair. Okay. Well, we didn't have Oprah. We didn't have Woody Allen. But how about when we had the one, the only, Barack Obama on?
I'd have Barack Obama on, sure.
Yeah, we
He's
all would.
committed war crimes, but
Yeah.
at least a taste in music seems good.
Hey, Barack, maybe don't do the war crimes. Also, his musical taste is pretty. Yeah, he's got good musical taste. But I guess we didn't have him on. Okay, fine. Well, I guess, as always, this is another episode of the Finey Awards 2025, in which we can't go back and discuss all of our cool guests we theoretically had on the show, because none of that made it to air. We keep getting guests on the show, and they keep showing up. And I have tons of famous friends like Oprah, Barack Obama, and Woody Allen. Maybe not so much the Woody Allen one. But, I keep bringing them on, and then we do the episode, and I go to, I edit the whole thing, and it's ready to go. And then, unfortunately, they always they drop the, they drop the legal news. I can't do that. So, sorry, Barack and Oprah, but those episodes never aired. But hey, again, we're here to rock down memory lane and the Finey Awards, people, which is the greatest award show of all time, because it's an honest award show. It's a truthful award show. It's an award show where we do not care about the best, because we play favorites. Now, Hassan, what do you want to do for the first topic? We have our usual highlights. We have our animated series of the year, miscellaneous internet media, comics, TV show, movies, video game. Video game stays at last because that's just the tradition at this point. I don't know why we do that, but
Yeah, I don't know why.
we must.
I feel like
adhere to tradition.
just because I don't know. Personally, it
Mhm.
was kind of a weak year for me.
In some
do we wanna
categories
start
for
with
me as well,
movie
yeah.
of the year.
Movie of the year,
Because
yeah.
for movies, I think it was weak. On other topics, great year. Movies, it was kind of a.
I agree with that to the point where I did not. I only really finalized my movie of the year list last week, and by
Okay.
last week I mean 4 days ago.
That's not last week, Tristan.
It's close enough to last week, technically speaking,
Sure.
as of this
Yes.
recording.
Sure.
Yep. Well, son, movie of the year. Lay it on us. What was your honorable mention, runner-up, and movie of the year?
Yeah, so my honorable mention will go to Begonia. So that is a Yorgos, and I forget his last name. He's kind of a well-known, like art housey. People are into A24 stuff. Would like him
Oh yeah,
director.
yeah.
He did a remake of a Korean film where basically the idea is kind of these two people who end up buying into uh, conspiracies, believe that this woman, that this CEO is an alien. They kidnap her.
Hmm.
Really solid film, but the ending is incredible. So definitely recommend that one.
Cool.
My runner-up, the Phoenician Scheme. So that is the new or newest Wes Anderson film.
I
If
did not know
you've
he did
seen
one.
a single Wes Anderson film, you've kind of know what this is when you're going into it. But it feels like he is aware of that with where he's at in his career and this film, and so he very heavily leans into that, and there's just some beautiful shots, some
Nice.
just real
I mean,
silly
Wes
moments.
Anderson
Like,
is, yeah.
yeah, the actual like main plot is
Mm.
just total nonsense.
Well, again, it's a
But
Wes Anderson film, like I said. So.
yeah, but the characters, the acting, the set
Mm.
pieces, the gorgeous cinematography all make it work.
Yeah.
And then my winner has to be Superman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
James Gunn just did a fantastic job of
Mm.
really encapsulating the hopefulness,
Yeah,
the
he did.
upbeat nature of Superman, while not
Mm.
being lame. That theme song of "I'm a punk rocker." It really works in it. It gives it just
It
that
does, yes.
little sprinkle on top that just
Ooh,
slightly
yeah,
twists the
man.
taste of it all, so that you're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this isn't one dimensional.
No,
And just
lovely.
one of the best lines delivered in a film this year has to be when it's towards the end of the film, but when one of the Lex's minions tells Mr.
Oh.
Terrific, like, oh, I can help you with that. I don't need your goddamn help.
Need your
I'm
goddamn help.
Mr. Goddamn Terrific.
Terrific.
Just angrily
Man,
typing.
he is
Fixed it.
Such
Yes,
a
yes.
perfect choice for Mr. Terrific. That was amazing casting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Uh,
But those are mine. Let's hear yours. Also, a reminder: you still
Yeah.
cannot say it's Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo. That movie
Mm.
came out 20 years ago. You can't
Son.
say it's the best movie of the year.
Son, let me tell you right now. Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo, which is Deuce Bigelow 2, European Gigolo. Thank you very fucking much, Hassan. That movie lives in our hearts for forever. It is truly
That's
it is
just you.
It is Criterion Collection masterpiece.
It is not.
It is.
No.
It is. It is 100%. It's gonna. It is there. It's there, and it's not. It's better than the first movie, which is why that one's not in the Criterion Collection. But Deuce Bigelow 2, Male Gigolo, European Gigolo, sorry, is, and it lives on in our hearts and minds, and we think about it every day, as we should.
You're a monster, and it doesn't count for this year. Let's hear this year's.
Fine. Well, this year's, I'm going to keep that Superman train rolling with my honorable mention being Superman. That movie is fan-fucking-tastic. They did a crazy good job. And here's the thing. Here's the key thing for me that won me over. Well, a couple key things. Superman, this is like a focus on the fact that Superman is the goodest person in the world. Perfect. Wonderful. Nailed it. The other key thing for me is the Superman theme song from like the 1979 Superman movie is the greatest superhero theme song of all time. I don't care what anybody else says. It's a theme song so good you can hear the word Superman in it when it hits the climax of the da-da-da. And the whole thing is just perfect, and they take that theme song and they run with it and put their own little spin and twist on it, and they did a great job of revitalizing it. And man, that has a lot of meaning and impact. And I'm glad that the punk rock aspect of it and Superman realizing that like he is punk rock even if Lois Lane was technically the more clicky punk rock kind of person.
Crab Joys aren't punk rock; they're pop.
Yeah, true. But like, you know, Superman's more about that. Like, it's the most punk rock thing you can do, and this was said on a Film Joy episode, and I agree with it. And I've said this for like a long time. It's the most punk rock thing you can do is be kind to somebody, especially in this day and age when like apathy and misunderstanding and disgust are weaponized by corporations to make sure that we are all buried in our phones. And yeah, this movie makes you kind of think about that. I appreciate it. Speaking of which, my runner-up goes to one that came out just last week as of this recording. Wake Up Dead Man, runner-up.
Oh yeah,
that movie. But
that movie makes you go,
yeah.
Maybe priests aren't bad people, because I forget the character's name, but the main
Judd.
actor,
yes,
the young priest,
just
the way that he actually encapsulates being a good person and caring and wanting to help, but having that troubled past. It's like this man, he's gonna win awards.
Yes, he will.
Maybe not for that film, but I fully expect someday that he has Oscars and all that stuff. Because
he's a very good actor. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, because I agree. So this movie makes me kind of believe in the fact that there are good priests out there. Not every priest in the Catholic denomination are pedophiles and evil. Even though, of course, like, there are files out there that state a lot of priests across the United States were, and there are a lot of grooming and that kind of shit aspects to the priesthood and to the church. And it's just like a lot of that stuff is out there. But as somebody who grew up Irish Catholic and never really experienced any of that side of things, because small town Irish Catholic is very different from American big city Irish Catholic, where they don't really care about Catholicism. For the most part, most places are not Catholic, Christian at best, Anglican usually. Some weird, what's the word for it? Full gospel domination kind of thing. And that's fine if you do that correctly, but there's an incorrect way to do it, which is, to draw your people in and belittle them and make them think that you are an all-powerful God, which you're not. I mean, in this movie, this movie talks about false deities and idolization and all the things, like the main villain, well, the victim, I guess, in this movie, is effectively portraying these things, and the reason why he is killed is because of these things, and he's a potential cult leader, and two to three of his flock realize they don't want that, and kind of becomes a Murder on the Orient Express kind of situation. And as opposed to Glass Onion from 2023, this movie really goes heavily more so into the murder mystery side of things. And because here you have a murder mystery that you could definitely solve if you just kind of piece it together before our boy shows up on the scene. So yeah, before
Benoit Blanc.
Benoit Blanc, thank you. For some reason, I blanked on his name. Blanc. Before Benoit Blanc gets to the scene, you could actually piece together the mystery itself and determine who killed, not Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
That'd be awesome. I mean, that's the idea.
Now that you said that, I can't think.
It's another guy who... It's not Jeff Bridges. It's the guy who played Thanos.
Wait, no. He didn't play Thanos, did he?
Pretty sure he did.
That was... This is a weird cast order. Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin, who played Thanos, yes.
Plays Jefferson Wicks.
Jefferson Wicks, there we go. Yeah, Jefferson Wicks is a fantastic villain who gets got early on in the movie, and he kills it, man. Yeah. That's a guy who I can definitely see people who are weak of mind falling for his shit. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
And then all centers around kind of a Maltese Falcon kind of like fake out rug pull kind of thing, but then the Falcon's real. Uh, anyway, my movie of the year, my winner, is gonna go to Weapons. Um, love me a horror movie. As you all know, Weapons this year, it's such a wonderful. It's not. I guess it's not a wonderful movie. That would be depicting as if it's like some sort of mystical, fun thing. Weapons is terrifying. Weapons is about some very personal shit, some very deep rooted, horrible crap in someone's life that manifests itself into this almost silly idea. I recommend going in mostly blind to it, like I did. But for those who don't want to, this movie is effectively about a person who destroys the lives of her own family, and then in doing so, the people within the community as well. And this movie has a lot of personal connection to me. And Zach Kreger apparently has had a very similar life as to what I've lived. And he made this one because, well, his friend and former co-host of The Whitest Kids You Know, he killed himself, and he made the movie based on that decision. It's just like, yeah. And it's just like, I can see why he did this. And this movie is a marvel. The acting is crazy good across the board. The depiction of very specific aspects are crazy good. It's tense. It's scary. And Zach Kreger does this thing that I've said in a lot of horror. Like the really good, true horror auteurs do this, where they understand that sometimes the scariest things are actually a little funny as well. To a point where, like, so in Weapons, if you've seen the trailer for it, it's a bunch of kids kind of like running around like Naruto running in the dark, effectively, and they all disappear. And that specific run is employed elsewhere and later on in the movie as well, multiple times. And when they show the people in that state of mind doing that run in broad daylight, it's kind of silly until they hit their target, and then it's terrifying. And it's, oh man. Also, pure catharsis at the end. Pure, wonderful, visceral catharsis. And I've yet to see a movie that like really gets that until now. And
yeah, it doesn't deserve to be on my list because, you know, if it's going to have Naruto running, it should have had Naruto music in it. So just calling it out.
It's just Fighting Dreamers playing as there's Naruto running.
Yeah, that film would have been way better if it just had that.
Fair enough. Well, that's movie of the year. Son, what do you want to go to next?
So again, another topic where I think I was a little bit weak this year. Still some really good stuff. I want to do cartoon of the year.
Sure.
So I'm gonna give my honorable mention to Haunted Hotel. That is, it's a show that reminded me a lot of a bygone era that we kind of complain about not being there.
Yeah, I hear you.
These cartoons where, you know, it's got more of that just God, not serial, syndicated sort of style, where even though it's only 12 episodes, so basically it's about this family that they just inherit this haunted hotel. Yep. Where the uncle owned it. He died. He became a ghost. There's other ghosts in there. There's a demon child who lives there. And it's, you know, it's just a really light and kind of breezy, even though there are episodes that, you know, get into heavier topics. There's not a large overarching plot. They're not trying to save the world. The character development, even though characters might have a big emotional moment in an episode, they're not, evolving and changing, relationships aren't developing kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I hope it gets more seasons and more episodes, because it is the kind of cartoon I'd just like to see more.
Sure.
And a bit of a unique art style. It's not the Family Guy / Simpsons.
Oh yeah,
pervasive
you're very
art style everything has now.
You're very specific. This is an
different.
adult cartoon style. Yeah.
Yeah. My runner up is going to go to Wild Pack. That's WYLDE and then PAK. Really good show. The premise of this one is basically this family where the husband divorced and he has a son from a previous marriage. That son comes to live with his new family, and they get up to wacky hijinks while also all dealing with serious human problems. The father worrying if he's a good father, the stepmother trying to be a good stepmother and not replace the actual mother, the two siblings trying to figure out what being half siblings kind of means now that they're living together. I really like it. Biggest complaint, same as everything else, too few episodes, especially they're only the 10 11 minute episodes
thing.
I really wish that this show had 20-minute episodes and a full 26 episode season.
Gotcha.
And then my winner is going to go to Invincible. That show continues to just be fantastic.
Agreed. I'd agree.
Quality animation, incredible acting. Like I forget his name, but the guy who, when he kind of takes kinetic force, can convert it to, I believe it was electricity. That whole story and Mark having to kind of grapple with how even when he does good, there is collateral damage and other people will get hurt. That whole thing was just so good. Just some of the best voice acting in animated series ever, I would say. Just across the board, there's some really powerful deliveries there, especially I can't think of the name of the actor, but the guy who voices Mark is just fantastic.
I can't remember who it is either, but he does a great job. I agree with that.
Yeah. But those are my winners. Let's hear yours.
Well, this is where I go full anime weeb on you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, honorable mention is going to go to Dan and Dan season 2. Man, okay, season 1's pretty good, but season 2, it's like that's the stuff I really get into, especially when they kick things off with like the hot springs, like the hot springs city. That's actually like, oh, they did the hot springs episode, but it's actually a horrible fucking cult that is like worshiping this death worm.
Tristan, that's actually all hot springs.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, then they got it right then. There's that, and then they finally brought in my boy Gigi, and Gigi's a lot of fun. He's like a human golden retriever. It's fantastic. Yeah, he has pure ADHD energy. He can't stop moving. He's always moving around. They did that. They got what's his name? Centero. Like the actual, like the horrible, like, loves him some mecha anime character finally getting his due, and they did him very well in the show, and they just nailed a lot of the aspects for the manga, and I'm so happy that season 2 exists and they got it right. My runner-up is going to go to another one based off a manga. Surprise, surprise. Which is City the Animation. I have never read the manga.
Sorry, City of the Animation?
No, City the Animation.
I've never heard of that.
It's based on the manga called City. And what they have done, San, this is the most gorgeous show I've seen animated like ever, because you know how like when they adapt manga to or a manga to do an anime, they'll like
Yep.
make some concessions. They'll try to make it as pretty as possible, of course, but make some concessions to try and make it like stray a little far away from the manga. They'll keep it close, but not too close, that kind of thing. With Seed Animation, they decided no, we're going to almost perfectly mimic the manga, right down to every finite detail, to a point where when they do these pullouts and these movements, it's the kind of show where like they have somehow fully encapsulated exactly what that manga looks like in movement. My God, it moves so pretty. And on top of that, like
Yeah, it definitely just even the still shot
yeah,
images look cool. It's
it's
by the
gorgeous.
person who did Nichijou too.
Exactly. Yes, it's a good comedy. It's fun. I the characters are weird because it's from the guy who did Nishijo. Like a bunch of oddball characters just having a good time in this city. Talks about love, life, laughter, what it means to move on with your life, what it means to run a business, all these things, multiple different aspects and perspectives. And a lot of that will come down to when these characters kind of like overlap, when these storylines overlap, they'll actually show both things happening at the same time, usually in either background shots or like frame shots. It's a really good show to, in certain episodes, go back and rewatch and just change the place where your eyes are looking. Because you may be looking like dead center screen and something is happening here, but then a thing goes over here, and over there. It's like, it's a really fun show that way. Yeah, that's got runner up because it's so gorgeous. The opening scene is just one of the prettiest things I've seen ever. And like the actual like the theme song for it is just kind of a fun little bop, and yeah.
Okay, what's your winner?
Speaking of an Amazon series, my winner is going to go to The Mighty Nine, which is the new Critical Role series. Now, I didn't care so much for Vox Machina. It's okay. Same with like the original like series back when that was just a live play D&D thing. But I truly jumped onto Critical Role during the Mighty Nine era, and that is, it's kind of like with Doctor Who, where like the first one you jump onto, that's your doctor. Well, this is my team. Mighty Nine is my team. I have a lot of investment emotionally with them. And it comes to a point where I've realized what they've gotten to do is very similar to what Robert Kirkman has done with Invincible, which is take a second crack at this story and just really make it work this time. Because Invincible, the comic, was really good, but it's nowhere near as good as the animated series, in my opinion. Like, I really like that comic too. Invincible's a lot of fun. It's poignant, it's deep, but like that animated series really changes the game.
Yeah, so I haven't watched Mighty Nine. Is it just a sort of Dungeons and Dragons thing, like fantasy, that setting, or is there some twist that makes it different or special from?
No, it's fantasy,
that sort of standard setting.
Yeah,
I'll say
it's not. Okay. It's not a totally standard setting. It is definitely your Dungeons and Dragons fantasy setting for sure. There's a lot of times where you can like, oh, it's this spell they're casting. Oh, they did that. They did this kind of thing, and yeah, you can make those calls. But they are doing enough to make it different and unique. It's more of this is a spy series. This is about pulling heists, spy shit, Mission Impossible kind of crap. Like, this series is the one that's more interesting in a lot of aspects because of how politically charged everything they do is. And we're talking about people who are kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy is kind of caught up in the middle of this actual massive conspiracy, and are unwittingly are saving the day up until the point where they realize that they have to do this to save the day. But yes, this series is mostly about spycraft and politics, and they do a thing like, so in the original Mighty Nine series with like Critical Role, they don't really hark on too much about Trent Ickathon, the main villain. Trent Dickathon is a wizard, and he is a fucking bastard. He's an evil, evil man, and you don't get much of that in the live play because they didn't really get a chance to do cutaways, and you don't get a whole lot of like fan favorite Essek until the second half of the live play show either. And Essek has a whole amazing backstory where he's doing bad things to try and save his mom from this horrible disease, because he believes Trent Dickathon, who he's working with, can cure her. And these are two different kingdoms of this continent that are coming together in secret to try and make things work. Meanwhile, Trent is basically the master of spies, and this like deeply knowledgeable man about how to hurt somebody, like former torturer kind of shit. But he's also a wizard, and it goes so far into this. The animation is gorgeous as well. The story is well crafted. They do a thing where they make my favorite character, Mollymock, a little more interesting, because his whole thing was he's a circus performer, and then his circus is very swiftly burnt to the ground during the whole thing. What do
they have in the circus in their setting?
What do they have in the circus?
Yeah, well, because human circus, lions and elephants and tigers. Oh my!
Well, glad you asked. So they still have some of that stuff. They still have your circus acts, their classic acts, but their big draw this time is a demonic toad. That is
all right. I'd go to that circus.
Yeah, exactly. Until
it's a big toad,
giant toad, enormous.
Okay, yeah,
like house sized.
I'd go to that in a heartbeat. I love toads.
Well, there you go, and then we'll transform you into a horrible monster when it goes off the rails, which is what happens in that episode. But this is a 10-episode long animated series, which we don't expect. But episodes are 40 minutes long. Kind of gives you, like, with that format, honestly, it's plenty. I feel like that helps. Hits the stride. It definitely helps for it to make it a little bit longer episode. Great series. You should check it out.
All right.
What's next, Hassan? You just did animated series and movies.
Yeah. Let's do TV of the year.
Yes.
So I'm going to give honorable mention to a now kind of long-running series, which would be John Oliver's Last Week Tonight.
Oh.
It's a series I've always appreciated and enjoyed, but this year in particular, where
he's had a lot of material.
Well, so obviously they're American focused, but it's not just America. That a lot of the current political and social nature of the globe can feel nihilistic.
Yeah.
And something I've always appreciated about them compared to, I don't want to say similar, but I would say other popular shows that sort of do we're going to make fun of, powerful people and corporations and stuff, it's something why adults who still watch South Park to me are a little bit weird, because I liked South Park until I was around 18 or 19, and I kind of stopped watching it because my main problem with South Park is it doesn't say anything. South Park will just go, war is bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yes, I agree with you. Whereas John Oliver will go, war is bad. We're going to talk about the things that lead to a war and the actual atrocities that happen as a result of it, and what you can try and do to, address this and prevent it, kind of thing, across a variety of topics. And just, they're so much more informative and hopeful in their messaging of going like, yeah, America has a lot of policing problems, but here's what you can do to actually try and help and address these things, instead of just going, here's why things suck, and that's it. And I always appreciate that when something will actually have more to say about a topic than just stuff sucks. Speaking of stuff sucking,
Uh-oh.
even though it's really good, my runner-up, Peacemaker season 2.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Boy, does Peacemaker's life suck.
Poor Peacemaker. Poor PC.
And yeah, this show just does a really good job of making humans in a superhero world like real humans who I won't say have to deal with, real stuff, because it's all within the confines of, multiverse and super weapons and all this stuff. But
sure,
these are some really well-written, interesting characters. John Cena, just a fantastic actor, continuing to prove that he can do a range of things, and isn't, say, like The Rock, where, hey, The Rock can do the really good, personable, buddy, but strong, macho guy. John Cena is showing he can really do vulnerable characters that are emotionally fragile, that actually have to reconcile with their problems. I will say, as much as I love Fox to Shazam, I do think the first season opening was better. Just putting that out there. And then speaking of John Cena, my winner is Pluribus. So that just finished last week. 9-episode series. Basically, the concept is, what if all of humanity became one singular consciousness?
The hive mind, yes.
Yeah. But it's from the perspective of this. There's, I think it's like 11 or 12 people who don't get 13. There's one who we focus on, Carol Sturka.
Carol Sturka,
and
yes. Hola, Carol Sturka.
She is, and probably in her own words, she say this, a bitch.
Yes.
And so it's just really nice to have a main protagonist where you're not really meant to like them. And they do act petty. They do act cruelly at times.
You have to begrudgingly accept that she is correct.
And
okay.
it's a slow-paced show. I would say the most frustrating thing about it is it constantly teases and hints at there being, a big twist or reveal, and there's really only 2. You could argue 3 with the the whole humanity being connected, but that's not really a twist when that's the main premise of the show. So I'd say there's kind of only 2 where they reveal that.
If you go in blind, that's a twist. But exactly.
There's kind of only the 2, which is one, that they're willing to eat people, and John Cena tells you about it.
Yeah, I do love that.
And then 2 at the very end, and those are kind of the only 2, but it uses the fact that it is slow paced to its advantage, with just some drawn out moments, some very just like there's a moment where Carol goes to visit one of the other survivors in Vegas, and it's all kind of a nothing moment.
Yeah, it is.
But the show uses that to its advantage, because it knows that. It knows, well, there's really nothing that comes out of this. It's just she goes to visit this person. They have this conversation like, hey, I kind of understand how you feel, but...
Yeah. I love that she shows up there with a smoking gun, and he goes like, yeah, I already know.
And then it's
like, what do you mean?
Well, best of luck to you. And she kind of just has to go, best of luck to you. And only 9 episodes, but it uses its budget well.
Well spent.
A lot of different locations and striking visuals. Do recommend. Anyways, let's hear your TV of the year.
Well, my honorable mention. So this is the year I got really into Dropout TV. Former College Humor guys made their own streaming service, and that's some good TV for the most part, but none so good as my honorable mention, which is Game Changer, especially the latest season where they did some weird shit. Purpose of the show for Game Changer specifically is that it is a game show in which the game changes each episode, kind of like Taskmaster.
Yep.
But in this sense, it can be literally any weird fucking thing they come up with. From the first episode, which is basically they have a lie detector, and they have three contestants. It's always three contestants, and the lie detector, is actually controlled by the significant others of the three contestants, and they don't win points unless they guess the premise of the episode. And sometimes that's the way the game works, and sometimes it's not. To the point where the Sam Says episodes, which is the CEO / host of the show, which is Sam Reich, is a bastard man. He is evil incarnate in his little suit and his stupid sneakers. And apparently he's actually implemented a whole ARG that I didn't even know about from like fucking season 1 onwards. 7 seasons of this. And yeah, he's a magician as well. So that's how you also know he's evil. But the Sam Says episodes, there are, I believe, 3 of them, in which it is simply Simon Says. You begin with 50 points, and here the only way you win is to play perfectly and beat your other contestants. And a lot of these games are him purposely pitting every one of his contestants against each other to a point where they're going to break down. He gets yelled at a lot in the course of his shows, and he loves it. But season 7 begins with an episode called 1 Year Later, in which in episode 3 of Sam Says in season 6, he then brought his contestants back on, which is Vic Michaelis, Jacob Wysocki, and Lou Wilson, onto the set and gave them tasks that they must complete within a year. And 1 year later is effectively the episode that catches up to that. Of like, okay, let's see what you've done. And they gave them budgets. They gave them the tasks like, okay, who can get the most SoundCloud followers? Who can get the most unique outfit? Who can perform the best magic trick? And you have a year to practice, etc., all this stuff. And they then spent the last of their 2 tasks effectively flipping the game on Sam to be like, okay, now you're the contestant, which they arguably didn't. However, what this was all building up to is the fact that this whole season actually was about making Sam the contestant as much as possible, because there's an episode, I can't remember what the episode is called, but it's a big old I think it's called Spin That Wheel. And everybody has these tags on them. Like your name tag is like a big old tag, and the wheel has all these other tags on it as well. And when you spin the wheel, you either win that tag or you can actually change it into a negative one. There's kind of a weird set of rules to it. And you have to maintain that specific aspect of the character you and are built through these tags. And Sam also has a tag on his shirt that says host. And at a certain point, one of the contestants wins a pick the tag one. He just chooses Sam's and just gives him his tag. And now he is the asshole playing this game. And he has to sing every line he says and make fart jokes and stick his butt out and all this stuff. But that is all building up to the last episode of season 7, which is effectively, Sam, we've kidnapped your wife, stuck her in a castle, and now you must solve several escape rooms with horrible consequences if you fail them.
Okay, your runner-up?
That was the runner. Oh yeah, that was the runner I mentioned. Runner-up goes to Pluribus. For all the same reasons you mentioned. All the same reasons.
Okay, yeah.
That show is fucking phenomenal. Vince Gilligan kicked this thing's ass. Great characters. The twists are fun. Like it's almost like weirdly slice of lifey. I don't know. It's such a good watch. Love it.
Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of Apple TV, though, my winner goes to Severance season 2. This is fucking, man. Oh my god, Severance season 2. Nobody is watching this show, but it's got like such prestige behind it. Severance season 2 is like, it perfectly encapsulates the corporate hellscape that has become everybody's lives. It's disgusting. In a weird roundabout way, what it is actually discussing is AI and how we are training it and this shit. And then on top of all that, it's actually about like weird cult rituals, and like it's doing all these things in a way to like build a mysticism and lore. And they do an episode where they actually shoot the whole thing in Newfoundland, and you can, as someone who lives on the east coast of Canada, yeah, that's 100% Newfoundland. There's no mistaking it. They've done such a great job with this season, and like the aspect of, you know, it's just Mark S trying to save his wife, but like he doesn't know because he's severed, and he's falling in love with a different person, but like on the outside of the severance floor, he's trying to save his wife. He's like delving into the technology, and he's trying to get himself unsevered through illegal means. Like somebody's literally like lobotomizing him. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, Severance is such an awkward show for me because I haven't watched it. And anytime people ask, "Oh, have you checked it out?" and I have to go, "Oh, no, I really should." I can't tell them, "Oh, the reason I haven't watched it is because I could not enjoy it." If that was me, it would just be immediate suicide. And like the other me would understand.
Yes.
It would be like if somehow two me's got to heaven, the other one just be like, "No, dude, it's totally cool." I would have done the exact same.
Yeah, same thing, dude. Yeah, same.
Nope, couldn't. Oh, I literally only ever work. I don't know anything else in my life. Just pencil through neck, whatever it takes. Just would not be able to handle that. And so I've just been like, nope, don't want it. That's my health. Don't want to watch that.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I understand that. That is a great reason to not watch Severance, but like it is such an incredible show.
Oh yeah, it looks great. Just my hell.
Yeah, your hell, and a lot of people's hells. Let's be honest. Yeah. Anyway, that's TV of the year. Let's move on to the next big thing.
Let's do manga of the year.
Oh, sure, comics and manga.
No, just manga.
No, comics.
No one reads those.
Sorry, but actually, you know what? You're kind of right. Anyway, go on.
Okay, so my honorable mention will go to Tamagawa-san Dete Mashita, which translates as, I don't know, this is on the site I read it, this is how they translate it. Tamagawa-san, Did You Appear? So that's by Matsutake Ume and Matsumoto Komikan. Which the premise of this is going to make it sound way worse than it is, but it's basically this 7-Eleven style convenience store.
Sure.
There's a woman working there, Tamagawa-san, where all the other co-workers are pretty sure that she is this former adult video actress.
Okay.
And so it is just them getting into these wacky hijinks situations where they're trying to figure out like that is her, right? And it'll be like, well, in this movie, she did this one specific thing. So if we could just get her to say this phrase, we're pretty sure and it's just it's not as perverse as
I know.
it sounds it would be. It's just it's the premise of it is so stupid, and I love it because it's like, oh, how do you have these people get into weird, wacky hijinks involving pornography? Like
Fair enough.
it's basically each chapter feels like it would be a plot, a side quest out of a Like a Dragon or Yakuza game. That is what they feel like, and I just love that. My runner-up, Tristan will never have heard of this, but it's a manga called Dan by Tatsu Yukinobu.
Oh, you're finally reading this one, are you?
Yeah. This year has had some
never heard of it. Yeah,
real good Dan.
Oh, dude, has it ever? Has it ever?
If you've been reading it,
I can't believe they're making an Amnesia plotline work.
I
hate Amnesia plotlines.
I can't believe they finally go like, oh, they're ready to say I love you to each other. Oh no, she gets amnesia.
Oh shit!
You got.
What do you mean?
Screw. That's so. I hate you.
I read it on my phone, and I've never wanted to snap my phone in half more. When I read the opening of the follow-up episode issue, and it's like, oh, she has amnesia. What the fuck do you mean? And it's like, oh, it's been so long since she's come back. It's like, oh, they gotta reignite the whole love story again, idiot. Like, yeah. Hurts. Love it.
I still love somehow their relationship, even with the amnesia. They're still kind of there.
Yeah.
But then my winner goes to Momose Akira no Hatsuko Hatanchu, which translates as Momose Akira's First Love Struggles by Harikawa Shinta. And so this is a high school rom-com where what if the two most incapable and just at times dumb human beings were obviously in love with each other, but just could not get past it. And it's just like one of the early episodes is, it's I forget what you call it, but it's like physical evaluation day.
Oh, and yeah.
So oh my god, I'm blanking on the male romance's name, but so Momose is just terrible at athletics. She's book smart, terrible at athletics, no street smart. Whereas he has incredible fitness. But what happens is they lose his results. And I have to look at the name before it drives me crazy here. Really? Why does the summary not give me his name? That is absolute nonsense. Hajime. So Hajime is really good at athletics. So they ask Momose to like reevaluate him. And so when they're doing the like when you're sitting down, legs outstretched, and you have to lean forward.
Yeah.
They're doing that, but they're talking, and so he turns back to say something, and she gets spooked because his face is near hers. So she just snaps his neck. But then he gets up. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm okay." And she gets freaked out and just snaps it back the other way. He just blacks out, and then the final panel is just him in a neck brace, like turned towards his friend. He's like, I don't actually mind this too much. I was like, you're an idiot. What's wrong with you? And it's because she's just she does weird. He has really bad luck. So like one time they are supposed to meet up at a summer festival, but he just keeps like getting knocked around. Quite literally, at one point, it's like a bunch of sumo wrestlers just end up tackling him over and stuff. But she just gets very anxious, and so it's all sorts of just physical pain for this dude. But then it has these really like sweet, tender moments juxtaposed against it, where so her whole thing was as a kid, she just didn't talk. But he would constantly talk to her on the way home from school. And he's an idiot and thought they went home to school together. And she's like, no, I was just going to my grandmother's. But that's when she developed a crush on him, was like, he's like the only kid who's willing to talk with me. And then they meet up 10 years later. But at one point, he joins the track and field team to try and win these tickets to their version of Disneyland or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And she's just very worried she's going to lose him to the head of the track and field. And she finally just mustered up this courage. She's like, are you going to join the track and field club? And it's just going, oh God, no. Why would you ever insinuate that to me? Oh, that's a nightmare, because he hates physical activity. And so it's this tender moment juxtaposed against just slapstick. Oh my God, no, that's the worst thing I've ever heard. And I love it. It's one of the funniest things one of the funniest mangas I've read in a good long while. Highly recommend it.
It's on my list for sure, because I've meaning to read this one. So yeah, hell yeah.
Also, just like no love triangle nonsense so far.
Cool.
And anything like that. It's just straightforward romance between two absolute morons.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear what your manga of the year are.
All right, my comics of the year. Which is what these are. These American comics, Hassan, for America.
I understand. Doesn't make
America.
sense.
Okay. Here's the thing. I seem to have fallen entirely in love with the Absolute series from DC.
Okay.
So my honorable mention is gonna go to Absolute Wonder Woman. For all the reasons why I mentioned in the episode of Absolute Wonder Woman. It's really good. It's Kelly Thompson, who I don't usually like as a writer, but she kills it here. And like this version of Wonder Woman is like leaps and bounds better than the one that's currently in the mainstream Wonder Woman comics. Tom King can't write for shit. Runner up goes to Absolute Batman, because fuck yeah, Absolute Batman is fucking ridiculous. To a point where Absolute Batman at a certain point, when I last picked it up, he was fighting Bane. I believe he's moved on to the Joker now. I haven't gotten there just yet. I've been busy. And when he was fighting Bane, though, and Bane has him like trapped in his base, and he's making Batman into the next Bane, and he does this thing where he fucks with his mind so hard that Batman has this like hallucination in which he breaks out and like basically goes after Bane, and what in his mind he loses so bad that Bane ends up like cutting both of his arms and legs off, dragging him back to the base, and cybernetically enhancing him to a grotesque point where he's like now the prime destroyer of Gotham and all this shit. But like it's believable that could just happen in Absolute Batman. And I believed it to a point, because like it's not until the very end where like Batman's like, oh shit, I was hallucinating, oh god. And then realized that was the case. But he's still pumped up with Venom, but last I checked. And then they brought in this version of Catwoman, who is kind of awesome. She's like a weird, like, so it's Catwoman, and she's a thief. And she's still this like strange ride or die with Batman, though. Like it's hard to describe. I like this Catwoman a lot more than the one in like the mainstream DC comics. And I read Catwoman, so
okay,
yeah, she's a lot of fun. But then my winner goes to Absolute Martian Manhunter. No comic is doing this, what they're doing in Absolute Martian Manhunter. It's such a unique and fun read, and it's got comic booky shit. They do stuff that you haven't seen them do in comics since like the heyday of them in like the 70s and 80s. And god damn it, man, like this book is making comics fun again. Ah, god, I miss this kind of stuff. This is what I live for. The I don't know what you would call it other than the back of the comic. I can order X-ray goggles. They haven't done that. $1.75 or whatever. They haven't done that yet, but give them time. Give them time. All right. But yeah, those are my comics. My comics of the year. I will spare you the list of my usual bullshit of like running through everything, because you know what? Tired joke is tired. Sure. Yeah. Okay. But here we go. No. Well, then let's do podcast and other media of the year. Miscellaneous media, yes. So you decided to call it as of last year. So my honorable mention is going to go to the YouTube channel Tom Nicholas, Nicholas. So he's a British-based YouTuber that generally tackles
politics / socio-economical
I think I've seen this
stuff.
guy. Yeah.
But like he'll address not just actual, politics itself, but also get into things about sort of the energy grid or even the proliferation of stuff like weather spoons.
Oh man.
Just a really good channel that again tends to kind of not just similar to Last Week Tonight, doesn't just go, here's how we got here. It's here's how we got here. Here's where it seems things are going, and here's how we can try and fix and address these issues. Here's how we make sure that like he has an episode about sort of Uber coming into smaller British villages, and well, here's how we should regulate, and here's how we should ensure that this doesn't just erode workers' values, et cetera, et cetera. Really good. Again, British focused, so for a lot of people, probably not going to be all that interesting. For me, a lot of it is because I'm British and these things matter. But just still worth watching some of his stuff.
Sure,
stuff that's maybe.
Well, I mean, like
stuff like when he talks about the power grid, Margaret Thatcher, a little more historical. I think that's a little more appealing to anybody than some of the current stuff around like Keir Starmer and such.
Yeah, well, I mean, like here's the thing with that sort of stuff. I think that when he touches on aspects of British life, that's still touching on aspects of also North American life here and across Europe as well. Like it's similar stuff.
Yeah, you can definitely see that's how this influenced this and came across the pond and all that. My runner-up is going to go to The Game Business. So that is a website, but they also do a podcast / video podcast. So that is Chris String, formerly of GameIndustry.biz.
Oh, that guy, yes.
Yeah, so I really like him. I think there's definitely some criticism you could levy against him in the same way that almost any business focused media has, where sometimes they're a little bit too soft on kind of the CEOs and negative practices of an industry. But he's kind of the only person going out there and doing interviews with CEOs and heads of studios and really talking to them about more of that industry stuff, about, okay, what are the hiring practices like currently? What are the difficulties in getting game funding today? There's a million
interesting
podcasts out there about video games and sort of the artistry of them. He's kind of the only one who's really going out there and just, talking about the numbers, about, well, what does it mean for how many units this game sold? What does it mean, for this publisher to pick up this small studio? Or, he'll talk to like the Netflix people who are involved in game and stuff. And if you're someone who actually cares about video games, I think it's worth listening to some of his stuff, even if you don't care about like the business of it. It's still, you get some interesting insights hearing some of these execs say certain things. You're like, oh, okay, I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, that kind of makes sense why certain things go this way.
Yeah, okay.
And then my winner is going to go to the channel Wolfey VGC. That's WOLFEY VGC. So that is Wolf Glick, arguably the greatest competitive Pokemon player of all time. And his channel is just all about sort of competitive Pokemon and him entering tournaments. But he's just this
guy,
incredible storyteller. So the thing is, he'll both kind of do very technical stuff. So he will explain to you, okay, here are the 6 Pokemon I chose to enter this tournament with. Here's why I chose them and how they, complement each other. And why I might take this Pokemon and make it more tanky versus how other people play it, where it's more of a glass cannon kind of thing.
Sure.
He has that, but the things that really make him this incredible storyteller are one video in particular. So he is kind of infamous as the only person who can successfully pull off this play called Perish Trap, where
Perish Trap, okay.
Yeah, so there's a move in Pokemon
Love
called
that movie.
Perish Song. Basically, nobody ever uses it because the way it works is you use the move, and then all the Pokemon will faint 3 turns from when you use that move, unless they switch out. And so it's a really difficult move to pull off because you need another Pokemon that will lock your opponent from being able to switch out. And so it's really difficult to pull off because you really have to know how to manipulate your opponent and get them to attack your Pokemon in certain combinations and swap things in and out. And the reason that video is so good is because while he's telling it, he'll be like, now, you might be looking at this and think, but wait, Wolf, you've just used Perish Trap, but one of your opponent's Pokemon actually has this special ability that they can swap it out. You can't trap them in. Why it's called Perish Trap. There's the Perish Song part, and then there's trapping them in. He's like, but that's because, list watcher, I have now activated my move, Off Temple Concerto. And he just starts like naming all these like strategies and things. And he just built it up. And also he's like building up his Pokemon where he's like, oh, there's no way that this Pokemon's going to survive this attack. And so then my Perish Trap won't work. But listener, you're wrong because this Pokemon did pull through for me. You always have to believe it. And he just is this fantastic writer, storyteller. And like, even if you don't care for Pokemon, the way he makes you care about it all and brings you in is what makes him so good. Also, again, just even if he's not the greatest, he is inarguably the most successful world champion, multiple internationals, regional wins. Just a fantastic player. Anyways, those are mine. Let's hear yours.
Yeah, I mean, these sounds interesting. Okay. So my honorable mention is going to go to YouTube channel. This is all YouTube stuff. K-Bash. Not sure if you've heard of K-Bash before, but
is it just the letter K Bash?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Effectively, what he does is just reviews, like goes through the annals of like lost games and the history behind these certain video games that we haven't thought of in a million years and probably didn't even think of back when it came out. Yeah, he does a great job of kind of like historically bringing up certain video games, making me think about those, making me want to play them again, honestly, if I did, or play them for the first time for the matter. Yeah, good video game history channel, just a solid one. It also works out that his videos are about the length of a workout for me, so I just kind of chuck it on in the background and just pump iron into that. It's not bad.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm also absorbing that information and just like, yeah, this is entertaining as hell. My runner-up, this is kind of informing how I have begun using YouTube and that kind of stuff, because I haven't fallen into TikTok just yet, and don't want to, but YouTube Shorts has kind of got me a little bit. I don't like that's the case.
Okay.
Trust me, I don't. But I mean, like, it's kind of not bad for when I'm on like a 15-minute break and I have nothing better to do. But I at least have found stuff that's a little more toothsome than your usual TikTok video. I'm looking at slop. I don't want any sloppy shit. And to exemplify that, my runner-up is going to go to Subway Takes. Subway Takes is a lot of fun. It's just a comedian who...
Subway, like the trains, or like the sandwich place?
Like the trains.
Okay.
What he does is he goes on he rides the New York subway all day every day, and he's a well-known figure on the subway at this point, where if somebody has a specific kind of take they want to blast out into the airwaves, yeah, let's rap about that on the train or while we're waiting for the train or whatever. So they're in the subway and he's just getting their opinion of people on the New York subway. And now also the London Metro subway. Because they also have a very unique and specific subway culture, same what New York does. And it's fun seeing either the bullshit takes that people have or the really agreeable ones. And there's just some insane people in New York.
Is he the one where that lady was like, yeah, I sleep on a dog bed?
Yes.
Okay.
That's him.
Yeah, I've seen his stuff then.
Yeah, he's good. He's a lot of fun.
That lady's crazy. Why? She's insane. A regular bed is... Who says a dog bed is better than regular bed? Insane.
That lady does. Apparently.
Yeah.
And all the power to her. But that fuck that. And my winner is going to go to campaign 4 of Critical Role. This is the year I've gotten back really into Critical Role, I guess. Campaign 4 is fucking great. It's not Matt Mercer anymore doing the DMing. It's now Brennan Lee Mulligan of Dimension 20 / Dropouts, that stuff. He's now full timing as the DM on Critical Role. And what he has done is he has 13 players.
Oh, that's too many.
It is, but what he's done is he's doing a quote unquote a West Marches style game in which he has segmented off sections of players. So it's 5-5-4 or 5-5-3. No, wait, it's 13. 5-4-4. Sorry. And what he's done is these will have different gameplay styles. So over here, the 5 are the soldiers, and then it's the seekers, and then it's the scoundrels. And he has created a world where the opening scene is a brother. One of the player characters watches his other brother, his older brother, who is a revolutionary, be hung by the neck in front of the entire city. And this is a beloved man, and he watches him die. And to gather the party together, it's a funeral. This is one of the most brilliant ways I've ever heard of gathering everybody together. Is hey, this funeral for a beloved man happened, and there was actually a huge conspiracy to try and make this not happen that fell apart. And a lot of this game is, why the fuck did our plan fall apart? Who screwed us? And who do we gotta kill? That's the game. And it's been really good so far. And Laura Bailey, and there's a whole thing with fairies and that kind of stuff in this world. There's a lot more mystical, high fantasy stuff. Laura Bailey is playing a fairy in this one named Thimble, and she was the revolutionary whose name is Thiazi Fang. He's a half orc. She was his lifelong partner, best friend kind of thing. And she wasn't there. She wasn't conscious during his death, because she was the last part of the plan, and she's about to do it, and then she gets put into a sack and shoved into a vent and beat up and that kind of stuff. She's unconscious. And then they find her there, and the breakdown, so good. It's really good acting. This is the season where they have just terrific acting, and we get to see Matt Mercer play in a campaign for once, and he plays just a shithead. He plays the guy who brought the revolutionary in, during the last, his last, push. He rode out, and he took him off his horse and arrested his ass. He's playing the guy, and he shows up at the funeral and spits on his corpse. Oh! In front of everybody. It's such a bar. Oh, fuck. This is the level of shit we're dealing with. It's such high drama. And it's gripping. Love it. Loving it.
Well, on that note, that brings us to our final topic game of the year.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm gonna have a quick sheet, and I'm just gonna say extra honorable mention goes to Pokemon Legends EA.
Hey.
Look, Pokemon.
Okay.
It's not in my top 3 only because it gets its props everywhere else, and I will probably have an episode about this now that the DLC is out, and I have more thoughts on it.
Right.
So my regular honorable mention will go to Donkey Kong Bonanza.
That was good.
That game is real fun, and somehow, despite constantly hearing it, you just never get tired of hearing them go, "Oh, banana!"
All right, I get behind that.
It's just, it's really good. It's a collectathon, but it is one where just the core mechanic of being able to destroy the terrain just makes it real fun to be like,
so
it doesn't matter. There's a million
There's
of
red
these
faction.
bananas around. Yeah, just being able to red faction
Love
your
red
way
faction.
through this terrain and get these is just so good.
Nice.
Really enjoy it. My runner-up is one that I'm surprised this game has not gotten more accolades, which is Doom: The Dark Ages.
Really?
And I didn't particularly care for, I think it was 2016, that first Doom reboot.
Oh, really?
I thought it was good, but I had some problems with just, a lot of it was the visuals, just everything kind of blurred together in a way that nothing really stood out. The second game I couldn't play because it requires a Bethesda account. Apparently I have a Bethesda account, but I couldn't get signed into it, and I didn't want to have to use an alternate email, so I just said, whatever, I just won't play it.
Fair enough.
Doom: The Dark Ages, it
does
a thing with the shooting where it makes you feel like you are the Doom Slayer.
I mean, Doom Guy.
No, Doom Slayer.
Doom Guy.
So throughout this game, the actual plot and characters are just bad. They're not good.
Yeah.
But one thing they do is a really good job of basically talking about the Doom Slayer as if he is a tactical nuclear warhead, where it's like, the demons are about to overrun the city. Send in the Doom Slayer, and you get in there, and you are just ripping and tearing through enemies. You're deflecting their hits in this way that you're like, yes, I truly do feel like I am this, very clearly inspired, Space Marine like hulking monster of a man, just mowing my way through these things. And yes, literal demons should fear me. For the destruction I shall wrought upon them. I'm surprised more people didn't talk about just how fun a game it is to play. Again, the story and characters, garbage. Absolutely terrible. Don't care for that.
It's a Doom game.
The
Who cares about that?
exploration stuff is kind of meh, but just the move around shooting so good.
Cool.
And then my game of the year, I don't think it's a super big surprise. Hollow Knight Silk Song. And
I was typing it before you even said it. So.
Kind of, rather than like talking about the game itself, I want to talk about why it became my game of the year, which is that I played this game, I think, day 2. I didn't have time on launch day to play it.
Same.
But I had 2 other friends as well who were right there. And the thing that just made this game so incredible for me and kind of makes it a game that probably is amongst my favorites of all time was having the interactions with friends of just over Discord being, and it was never anything too in deep, but it would just be, typing and being like, oh my God, this boss sucked. It took me 15 tries. I hate this boss, blah, blah, blah. And then, 20 minutes later, you might be like, oh, but this boss got them second try. And somebody else being like, oh, really? Like, that's the one I struggled on. I hate it. Like, what what weapon were you, or what crest were you using? What sub weapon were you using? That kind of stuff. Just having that talk, that interaction. I wouldn't call it community, but a community-like experience with that game really elevated for me. I forget how you phrased at the beginning of this, but we've kind of always said, hey, the reason our awards are actually better than most other stuff is these are just our favorites. We're not
we don't
trying to
care about the best. We just play favorites.
Remove any objectivity and go, oh well, based on this is so much better because its artistry is more. It's like, no, this was just the favorite experience. And for me, playing that alongside friends and just having those conversations and the second you're just like, yes, I just finally got past this boss after 20 tries, and being able to immediately vent to it with friends, or kind of celebrate your success with friends, just push that game above anything else this year for me. So those are mine. What are yours?
First things first, I'm glad you finally have had the experience that Dark Souls has given me for the last fucking
I don't know what you're
14
talking
years.
about. Dark Souls are bad games.
You've played one. Anyway. Side-scrolling Dark Souls Hollow Knight Silk Song. My honorable mention is going to go to Hollow Knight Silk Song. Let me be clear. I still have not beaten this game. I'm not going to. I'm done with it. Effectively, I don't like it. But that doesn't mean I don't like aspects of it. What they've done for the way you move, the way you fight, the way it looks, the voices, the little bits of like voice acting, the blah, 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 there is a lot I truly do love about this game, and I can't just be like, this is the worst game in the world. I have to recognize the fact that this is Team Cherry's like masterpiece, and it is. And I guess this is sort of objective in a sense, but like, it's not a favorite game of mine, but I love hearing about it. Like, I don't like playing it, but there's other ways to experience it, and through like people like yourself talking about it and seeing the art from it and knowing where the story goes. I've gone forward and just, I now know what ends up happening. Like, that's awesome. What they do with like the blighting the whole storyline and then like the twisting the landscape and shit, that's really cool. I love that.
And I'd also say you're right in the sense of this is definitely way less obtuse than Dark Souls, but the ways that the community would be like, oh, if you actually look really carefully, this boss character, you see them like way in the background early on here. It's like, I never would have noticed that. The community aspect of that is, it's definitely a thing I wish Team Cherry recognized more, is, hearing from people like, my girlfriend, it's a cliche, but I literally saw someone post it, which is why I'm using, the girlfriend one of like,
sure.
Oh, my girlfriend loves the character, loves the design, the music, all this stuff. Hates playing it. She's not good at it. Boy, I wish Team Cherry just had an accessibility mode of like, can't die. Just check mark a thing so that she can just run through and have fun and see all this stuff. It's like, they really should. Yeah,
I would like to see that, like, personally through my own gameplay as well, but it's not going to happen, and that's fine. Maybe I can go back and get that fight, but I'll be bash my head against the wall for a bit.
Yeah.
But again, I have to recognize just the artistry and the mastery here. And it's gorgeous what they've done. Okay. My runner-up is going to go to Dispatch.
You played that, have you?
Yeah,
I want to play that.
That kicks ass, man. Here's the thing. I have not played a Telltale style like adventure game like this kind of thing in a long time. And man, I miss this. I miss it so bad. Like the episodic aspect of it. I do kind of wish the dispatch game of it all, because you're dispatching your heroes to different locations. I don't like that is an episodic thing and then just kind of stops at one point. I do wish that would just keep going. If they had an endless mode, I would like that.
Okay.
I find those little aspects fun. It's basically ends up being a bit like a card game in a sense. It's just like, okay, you go here, you're here, cool down. Okay, over here now. Now you level up. All right, now you get these powers, and then you have better stats this way. Yeah, it's fun. I like that stuff. I get really ingrained in that shit. And then at a certain point, I was like, oh, actually, your shift's over. But I was just getting into... Okay, fine. I almost heard him leveled up.
Did you choose Invisigal or Blonde Blazer?
This is why this is the runner-up for me.
Oh, no, okay.
So somehow I ended up becoming celibate by accident. I tried real hard to get with Invisigal. Real fucking hard. Extremely hard. And it was to a point where basically, like, it pissed me off because at some point the game thinks I'm not with Invisigal because I made a certain choice that sounds like you are with her, but just making a sensible choice of like, okay, you kick her off the team in like episode 6 or 7, whatever it is. And it's just like, okay, we got to do this. And like, okay, for the greater good of the team, I got to kick her off. And you make that choice to the team, and she's in the room, but invisible because it's her power. And like, she hears this, and this taints my entire further playthrough, apparently, because I can't then explain, look, you're a loose cannon, and you fucked up, so you have to be reprimanded. I'm sorry. I'm also your boss.
No, you're supposed to play nepotism, favoritism.
That's actually the correct answer if you want to get in your pants.
Yeah.
Yes. But I didn't, and then I further fucked up with Blonde Blazer because like at the very end there is a line you could choose to be like, you know what, I'm actually into you. And that would cruise you right through the entire thing because I had her right there too. And then what I chose was, I wonder what Invisigal is doing right now. And she's like, all right. And then it's just like, well, friendship forever, asshole.
I hope
no romance
carry over to Dispatch too. I hope you're just.
I hope so too. Actually, it's infuriating but kind of funny. And that's the thing. This is why I like these games because you can trick yourself into these aspects, these scenarios, and it sucks, but it's hilarious.
Yep.
And my winner is no. It's okay. It's okay. Here's the thing. My winner is obvious if you listen to the podcast all this year and watch the show. It's Clear Obscure Expedition 33. Clear Obscure Expedition 33 is really fucking good. Got a bit of a problem though, and so it's the AI thing, which came out pretty recently. Yeah. Here's the thing. I am vehemently against AI in most aspects. I think it's okay if an artist is like, okay, or writer or whatever, has used AI to help them in generating their own art, not generating art from the AI. I'm not talking about generative AI, but AI tools that can help you in creating a thing. There are things you can do in, let's say, Photoshop. There are AI tools in Photoshop that let you basically like pick a thing and help you create your brush in a certain way that it knows how you want this. And it's like, oh, it just knew. Perfect. Thank you. Stuff like that. I think that is totally fine. If you're a writer and you are like, I'm having a hard time with this paragraph, and coming up with a description, let's toss a few. Let's get AI to kind of like describe this and see if it jogs my mind. As long as you're using it for the jogging your mind aspect and you're not just like copy pasting it, I think that's fine. The use of AI tools is not the issue for me. And it sounds like so far that is how they used it in creating Expedition 33. However, when they asked the CEO about if they used AI tools, he said no, he didn't, in that very corporate way that makes you actually think they used it a lot and in a bad way.
Yeah.
So I don't know. and I just recently watched James Stephanie Sterling's like Games of the Year video as well, like a couple days ago, and they made the same comparison, and I'm like, shit. I know I had this thought for a while, and now I'm like, that's also put into words for me as well, and they nailed it. And like, shit, I don't know how I feel about this now. Fuck, because I was ready to be like, this game is phenomenal, and I still feel that way.
It's been thousands of years that humans have, been debating and arguing and trying to figure out, can you separate the art from the artist?
Exactly. And here's the thing, like, I think, speaking about that aspect as well, it's been a long time of like, okay, Rodin got flack for the way he used bronze sculpting, because he used his tools in a very specific way that people didn't like until they started actually liking it. And I'm like, we're kind of at that point with this as well, because the stuff that became popular back then with bronzing, for instance, ended up, forcing people out of jobs in artistic jobs. But, it was a less of an impact at that point, because he wasn't forcing hundreds of people out of jobs. It was like a couple of people. But it's the same principle. And it's just like, we're at a point where I can't stop thinking about AI shit, because I want to try and avoid it as much as possible. But I don't think there's a way to do that in 2026 onward. I guess we'll get there when we talk about predictions, but yeah, we're at a point where I don't want to say we need to suck it up and just go forward with AI, because I hate that. Fuck that. What I do want to say is we need to find the ones who are using AI in an ethical way, and using it as a tool as opposed to a person replacement.
Yeah, it's we can't pillory every single person who ever so much as touches AI, because then everyone's going to be in the stocks. You got to be smart and choose the important battles and the ones you can win. Which, it sucks. I'd love to be on the side of, if it's ever AI, well then just screw it. That's the line. We'll never go across. It's like that. We've already lost that. I don't think it
came in overnight, unfortunately.
1,000 euphemisms you can use, right? The horse is out of the barn, the genie's out of the bottle, etc. We're screwed there, and I think it sounds like for Expedition 33, the way they used AI is mostly on the acceptable side.
Right, that's what I'm seeing as well. Like from the accounts that I've read, it sounds like the person who admitted to using AI, or the team using AI, was more so kind of like, hey, we used a couple of AI tools, wasn't a big deal. But because these are AI tools, everybody was just like, oh, they use generative AI to do blah, blah, blah. And apparently it was at the concept art phase, they used some AI images to try and drive the point forward. But they still had concept artists on staff. So there's a good chance, I don't think we actually know this for a fact, so I'm going to put my 2 cents here. What I think happened is that the concept artists went, hey, I need to, like I said with the writers, I need to kind of like jog my creative juices, my thought process, generate me this kind of image. Okay, that is kind of something that I'm thinking of, like, okay, that works for me a little bit. How do I juice this up? So they took a little bit of that, juiced it up to make it their own thing, and like went forward from that. Now, the problem there is, of course, that it's still a plagiarism tool, because they took that and changed it into their own art, if that is what they did, that then means it's not exactly plagiarism, it falls under a different kind of law. It just so happens though, because like they could have gotten in that same direction if they have found an artist on DeviantArt or whatever place people are posting art these days, on Twitter or whatever. They could have seen that and went like, all right, yeah, that's kind of something that I want. Taken those images, made an image board, and then kind of like directed their art in that direction, with those influences. So the problem really comes down to, it's not that they didn't do that. They used AI to grab those images, create a new thing, and then created something off of that. So it's the problem is here and not here. It's the B connection, not the A to C. So I understand. So that's the tackling part. Whereas like the B connection is ethically not totally good, but if you had it done from an image board to the final product, it's still at that part it's okay because he put the work in, but because he didn't want to put the work in, that's when it becomes bad. And like I said, we can't pillory that because like that means this person who took influence from an AI image, again, this is all hypothetical, deserves to be lambasted as like this criminal, but like we don't know if that's the case. We don't know how far it went with the AI tool, what they used it for, why they used it, that kind of thing. So we can only go so far with that. I think the real issue I have with AI, like beyond the plagiarism thing, that still fucking sucks, is the amount of like power and the amount of like infrastructure it requires to make this stuff work with like data centers and that kind of stuff. That's a whole other can of worms. But as far as I know, that you wouldn't think about that if you're using these products. So I don't know. Regardless, Expedition 33 is my game of the year because when I played it and I still think about it, it's probably it's one of the best RPGs I've experienced in a long time. To me, it is up there with Chrono Trigger, my favorite game of all time. And it's just like it's sitting in those lofts. It's right there with the best. And like I can't deny that it told a touching story with great characters, fantastic gameplay. I mean, people are saying it did a bunch of different stuff. It didn't really do anything new. It just honed in what it wanted to do and made it work for them. And like it's that like really getting in there and honing the craft and making this a fun and interesting world is what made Expedition 33 work so damn well as a game.
I get it. You just love pretending you're French.
Oui, oui. Anyway, that's it for my game of the year.
All right.
Yeah.
On that note, then we'll wrap it up. So why don't you tell people where to find us?
Yeah. You can definitely find us in the usual places. Go to our Twitter. Maybe we don't have Twitter. Don't do that anymore. Shit. Nope. What am I on? My brain's all over the place now. Thinking about AI and Twitter and shit.
Blue Sky. That's where the cool kids are at.
God, go to that Blue Sky. We're at EIF and AR. Actually, I think our Twitter page is still there, so you could go there.
Sure.
If you want to. Go to our Blue Sky, which is at EIF and AR. Go there and tell us what your game of the year is. Why not? What your comic of the year is. I actually like to hear that stuff, as opposed to every other time I request you talk to us. Give me a list. I'll read a list for days. You also go to our YouTube, Spotify, iTunes pages. Go there, like and subscribe. Click the follow buttons. Click things until you enjoy your life a little bit more and make ours better as well.
Probably how that works.
Probably. Not necessarily, but should be. Anyway, you should also go to our friends at DJDay.com. That's the guy that does our music, do his great tunes. And, just if you want to, sit him down and give him your long list of Game of the Year stuff as well, You know, just really let him have with the whole Game of the Year thing. Just chew his ear off.
Yeah. Just go inside his house and just start talking to him.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Anyway, that's it for our show. Tune in next time for another Eximashus episode of Everything is Fine Is Ruined. See ya.
See ya.
Say it. You win.